Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Thursday, the 10th of August. I am Flatcap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, one vid only this week with my horse racing selections, and then I'm off on the summer break. So you'll not see me, well, you will see me, but you won't see me. We'll get to that. So there won't be any more horse racing selection videos from me until Saturday the 19th. That is when I'm back. Saturday 19th? Yeah, Saturday 19th. So this is the last video before Saturday the 19th where I'll be doing horse racing selections. So in the 8 days between this video and Saturday's video, what I have done is I've lined up a little 2-minute pre-record video each day that will play out at 6 o'clock in the morning. There'll be, anyone who's subscribing will get a notification, but it'll be 6 o'clock in the morning is when it goes live. There won't be any tips because it's pre-recorded. It will just be a little bit of a chatter about what racing's gone on that day, or going on that day, anything significant that's previously happened on that day. And each day there'll be a shout out to different viewers and followers of the channel. So there won't be any selections on there. It's entirely up to you whether you watch it. The purpose of the videos is not so that you just don't forget me or anything like that. It's fine. If you want to rest from me, I'll understand. The purpose of videos for those people that like to share their selections. Literally, you can then each day use that video and use that comment section. So for those people who want to go and see what other people are putting on, we've got a really nice band of merry folk at the moment who are sharing their tips on a daily basis. So those videos are for you to share your own tips and things on there. I am not planning on being in the comments while I'm on my summer break. So rather than me have to post each day a comment and tie it to the top of the thread and all that kind of jazz, the plan is I'll do these vids and then people will just then go on and write their own stuff on there, and by osmosis it will work like magic. That's the plan. But yeah, the last few days the comment tribe have been doing alright. Good. I mean, not necessarily stringing everything together. There was a good one the other day with someone hitting 3 double price winners and a place in a lucky 15. But there's been quite a lot of big price horses the last couple of days, and between most people in the comments, they've covered them somewhere. So well worth having a look. Clearly, there's a caveat in there. These are just regular folks showing what they do. They're not tipsters. Don't give anyone a hard time. And if anyone wins, cheer them on. That's the kind of the general operation. All right, so what have we got? It's a busy video and it's a late upload. I hadn't planned to upload so late, but that is where I have found myself. So for the last day before summer break, for Thursday, I've done it as stake and a half. I thought, let's get involved. It's one day. So I've got 7 bets in total. Various lucky 15s, combination double, and I've done a combo fourfold for the racing league. So they're not massive prices, but I could easily pick a pair in 4 different races. So I thought let's do that as well. So we've got £30 stake across 7 bets. That is the plan for Thursday. Also on this video, what do I need to do? I need to go through the review of Sunday, because that was the last time we put selections out, and then we had comment stuff on Monday and Tuesday. I didn't have anything in the comments on Wednesday, so I need to mention the comments, and there was something specific about one of the comment horses on Monday, which was the one I put out was the value horse, which managed to snag 5th at 50 to 1. I'm going to do a little bit of a conversation about that horse. And what was I going to do? And then I promised I'd do a few stats about Galway. So I've got a few of those. I haven't written anything down, so I'm hoping it'll just magically come out of my head. But yeah, I've got a few interesting stats from Galway, so that I'll get to that as well. So I'm expecting it to be a bumper video. I'm not apologising for how long it's going to be. It's the last proper video until Saturday 19th. So that is that. All right. So there's probably some other stuff I'm going to mention that I haven't even forgotten that I was going to do. Anywho. If you go back to Sunday, last time we did selections, it wasn't a very good day. It was 20 quid on. I think we got about £2 back, and it wasn't a good day. We had 2 second places. That was second, but we had nothing with it. So Barna Curlier, and we had Gold Speed second, and nothing with it. I think that's pretty much how it went. It's my recollection. I don't think there was anything else going on. So I think it worked out a 20 on, £2 back. It wasn't a very good day. So we didn't end the week well. So the stats are a bit skewed from last week, because the stats say we made £35 profit. So the channel did, through the channel account. But I know that wasn't achievable unless you didn't have a Sky Bet account. So I know those who didn't have a Sky Bet account, I'm thinking lost. I don't think anyone else would have managed to make profit unless you had a Sky Bet account. So it's really frustrating. It's not how I want it to be. So I'm really thoughtful about what I might do to switch it up and change things around. Post holiday, we'll see. So for the week we ended up 35, and therefore for August we were up £53. So we were running total of up £53, but I know that's not reflective of where everybody might be at. But yeah, it's interesting. When I started the channel, I was talking about Sky Bet account as the best account to have for the channel. A lot of folk have followed along. A lot of people have had their accounts restricted, and now it's sort of, I think the channel needs to evolve in line with other people's betting account usage. But at the same time, I know I've got new people joining all the time who will have a Sky Bet account which they can use, and I will stand by. I don't have a Sky Bet account to use other than what I'm doing for the channel, and I make money. I just need to figure out how to make sure I translate the best version of what I'm doing off the channel onto the channel, but knowing that Sky Bet offer extra places better than anyone else on average, and therefore you're more likely to yield a greater return, because I'm actively finding horses that most of the time shorten. It wasn't always the case in Galway. Most of the time shorten, and therefore you're not benefiting from best price guaranteed and things in the same way. So anyway, long ramble. So then what did we do? Comments on Monday. So comments on Monday, I did quite a bit on Monday. Let me just check my what did I wrote it on my phone, because I can't remember all the names of all the horses now. Lo and behold, come on, where's it gone? Oh, sorry to keep you waiting. All right, so we had on Monday, we had Sense of Security, which was the value horse of the day. I really like that horse. The only problem was it was a 24-runner race, and most bookies were only paying 5. That being said, it absolutely stormed up the home straight and placed at 50-1. So that was a good start. Gave a second choice there. That was no good. Then the 453, I put 3 out in that one, and we got nowhere on that, albeit one of them was brought down when I think was possibly well in contention of placing and obey. Then the 528, the Shantou King, different jockey, same result, looked like we were going to get placed and then faded. And then we had Hollis Brown non-runner, and then the 738 Antiphon ran a nice race and was third, tipped up at 20s. So 2 places out of there are decent ones. And then on Tuesday, I just put up 1 Winter Carnival, a bit of a punt, and it was no good. The point I was going to talk about with Sense and Security, because I've talked about this a few times, but I've thought I've got a great illustrative point here. I'm hoping this is going to come out on the screen. So what I did is just before the race at Sense of Security, the 250. Hopefully this will come out on the screen and you can see. This is from Odds Checker, and if you look, that was taken at 251 just before the off. The point I want to raise here is look at the variance of the bookmakers. So you had Coral at 33-1 just before the off. You had Bet365 or 150s on that horse just before the off. Paddy 110. Sky 4 is absolutely nuts variance. Now, I've said it many times, if I'm backing a horse at a price and that price increases, if you're betting them singles, then do that. So I doubled down on Sense of Security on that bet. So I had money down at 50s, and when I saw just before the off, I managed to get on a much bigger price. You can work that out off there. But literally, whatever, without me talking about my personal betting staking amounts, the amount I had on it, I managed to double that amount just before the off because the value was doubled. So it's this thing that I'm trying to make sure that people really get, which is that when you start betting and you listen to pundits and what people say, they say and they make everybody believe that when a horse drifts, it's a really bad thing. That is not true. Sometimes it is. There are occasions when there might be some inside knowledge leaked that says, do you know what, the horse got no chance today, it's not up for it, but we're still going to run it. That does happen on occasion. But most of the time what happens when horses drift is because something else is being backed in and the bookmakers have to basically push something else out. Otherwise the over round figure, which is the total percentage of profit they make, goes too much in their favour and they basically go beyond the threshold that they're allowed to operate within. So any time a horse shortens, something else has to get bigger. And I think what happened on some of those bookmakers, on Paddy and 365, it looked like they hadn't taken as much liability on those horses, on that horse. They pushed it out. Whereas you look at Corals and Sky Bet, they were shorter than the SP price before the off. So they were more concerned about liabilities on that horse than Paddy or 365 were. So it doesn't mean because it drifts, it's a bad thing. I personally will, in that case, the horse, it more than doubled in price. I doubled down on the bet. So yeah, hopefully that illustrative point there. But yeah, I thought it's been a while since I've seen such a wild variation of betting market before the off. A horse SP'd at 50s, you could got 33s in one bookmaker and 150 somewhere else. That's nuts. Anywho, that's that. Oh, just a quick mention on golf as well. So if anyone's got the golf, I did put it in the comments of the last video. I think on the Monday comments. I just fought four golfers. One in the Live Bedminster, Matthew Wolf. I think he got about 40s. I haven't checked the prices for a couple of days because all my bets were down early doors. Matthew Wolf in the Bedminster. And then in the St Jude, there was three golfers. There was JT Poston, Cam Davis and Lucas Glover. Lucas Glover, who won last week. Yeah, I thought it was a good price to go back-to-back tournaments in a tournament where he played well last year. Anywho, those were the ones. So if you want the golf, that's the golf. It all starts tomorrow lunchtime. I say tomorrow lunchtime, it'll be whatever, Thursday lunchtime. That's those. So I will go through Thursday's bets, and then I'll do a rundown of where we're at with stats, and then I'll do some Galway stuff for those who were interested in hearing some more Galway statisticals. All right, plan for Thursday. So I've got an afternoon bet, and then all the rest of the stuff is sort of later on. So the afternoon bets, there's 240 Nottingham, Lord P, 13-2. 340, that's a 7-runner, Sky and Betfred 365, Coral, Unibet are 3 places, so that's why they are one of the best 5 bookies for this bet. Miss Harmony 14s, 350 Yarmouth, Midsummer Dance 12-1, and then I've split legged the 445. We've got Distinction at 11s and a very familiar horse. We've backed it multiple times. It's placed multiple times for us. Hostelry. It's only a short price, 6-1, but that's because it's running so consistently well off a similar handicap mark. So 2 times 10p each way Yankees. So no singles on these. 10p each way Yankees. So that's Lord P, Miss Harmony, Midsummer Dance onto Distinction, and then Lord P, Miss Harmony, Midsummer Dance onto Hostelry. 2 times 10p each way Yankees. Betfred and Sky are the same place terms for this bet, which is a rarity really. So yeah, Betfred or Sky first, and then 365 or Coral are joint third best, and Unibet's the 5th best bookmaker for this bet. That is bet 1. And then we go bet 2. So going around the houses for this one, 4 o'clock Brighton Dundalk. It's been shortening up that one because it basically not specific. There's an interesting point as well. Sometimes horses shorten up and people go, oh, there must be loads of money. I think there is a bit of money for it, but it won't take much. But the point is the horse was priced up wrong. It's not that necessarily it's hugely fancied. The horse was priced up wrong. It should be around about 9-1, I would say. I think last time out it didn't run so well, but outside of that, it should be all right. I just remembered, was I? No, that was. Don't know what I was going to say. Lost my train of thought. Dundori, yes. So yes, and the interesting thing about Dundori is you've got Jack Kearney, who's a young Irish claimer who's come over just to ride the horse. So the horse has got Irish connections, but yeah, he's only ever ridden once, I think, in the UK ever. Just coming over just to ride Dundori. I think it's a really interesting jockey booking. That he's been doing all right in Ireland. But yeah, it should. I think I should have it about 9s. The time making this video, I think it was still 28s on 365. So if you like a single bet, get on Dundori at 28s. Then we're going 5:30 Chepstow, Celtic Empress or Celtic Empress, depending on your pronunciations, 16-1. 6:35 Sligo, Champagne Vacation, 12-1. I think I keep writing that wrong. I think I've written it wrong on another one as well. Champagne Vacation 12s, and 8:15 Sandown Nikovo 14s, 18p each way, lucky 15, 540 is the bet. Sky Best, then Betway, then 365, and then Coral or Paddy in that order. 540 is the bet. And then we're into the Chepstow. So what I've got is 2 specific Chepstow lucky 15s and then a Chepstow fourfold. I mean, yeah, I could have done doubles, to be honest, like and done it that. I haven't. so if you want to, it's a risky way of doing it with the fourfolds. I just thought we'll go for it one day on for holiday. But yeah, we've got 5:30 United Front 17-2, 6:30 Samaxi at 7s, 7 o'clock Old Smoke 22s, 8:30 Abel Kane 14s, 18 pence each way, lucky 15. It's a 540 bet again. Sky Best 365 or Coral joint second best, and then Hills, Betfred and Unibet. Those are the best 6 for the combination of Chepstow races I have got. So watch out, because yeah, often like Paddy might appear in here and it's not. The Sky Best 365 Coral, Hills, Betfred, Unibet. 540 is the bet. And then the second one, slightly smaller stake on this one, and interestingly, I just went through them all, and then I've ended up, I was like, oh yeah, they all of these seem to be Team Ireland, who don't generally didn't do well last year, particularly on the racing league. But yeah, I just ended up having 4 Ireland horses altogether. They're not all trained in Ireland, but they all run for Team Ireland. 6:30 Nordic Passage 11s, that has come over from Ireland. 7 o'clock Feel the Need 11s. 8 o'clock Honour Your Dreams at 16s, and 8:30 Pearl d'Or 10s. 15 pence each way, lucky 15. 450 is a bet. Sky Best, then 365 or Coral, then Hills, Betfred or Unibet are joint next best. That's bet 4. But yeah, where I've got these doubled up horses, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you wanted to do doubles, it's up to you how you do it. But yeah, I've done it as fourfolds. Yeah, that's just how I've done it today. So we've got the 5:30 United Front and Celtic Empress, 6:30 Samaxi and Nordic Passage, 7 o'clock Old Smoke and Feel the Need, and 8:30 Abel Kane and Pearl d'Or. 16 times 10p each way, fourfolds. It's 320 is the bet. So all 8 go in the bet slip, and there's 16 possible combinations of fourfold. What you could do, if you don't want to do all the lucky 15s I've done, you could do a bet like this. So sometimes I will do a bet where I pick like this 4 races, 2 in each one, but I do it as win doubles and then each way trebles and fourfolds. It does add up to quite a bit of cash, which is why I wouldn't do it for the channel in the same way. So I think let me think, conversion for channel. I think if you say, for example, I think this is right. If you did a minimum stake for channel, so you did 10p win doubles and 10p each way trebles and fourfolds for the all of this, and didn't do lucky 15s, I think that works out as 12 quid. So that's 10p would be the minimum most bookies would take. Some will take less, but 10p, I think if you did it like that, it would work out as a £12 bet. But then you might want to also, again, if I was doing that myself, if I was, the equivalent would be, if I was worked out in the right scale, I'd then, equivalent to 10p bets on that, I'd probably put something like a 50p win single on all of them. So that isn't necessarily my stake, but the smallest amount of stake to make it relative to the channel. But if you can imagine, if that was 10p, 10p win doubles and 10p each way trebles and fourfold, and 8 times 50p win doubles, win singles, that would work out, I think, therefore, at £16. I think that sounds right. Might have completely got that wrong. I've just done very, very quick maths in my head to convert that to the minimum stake for the channel, because it's not what the amount of money I would bet, but I think that sounds right. Anywho, Sky Best, then 365 or Coral, then Hills, Betfred or Unibet, same as before for Chepstow. That's the Chepstow bets, and then we've got 2 further bets for the evening with some big uns. Okay, so I've got 6:35 Sligo max time. I think that's worth chancing. It didn't run well last time on handicap debut, but before that it's got some okay form in maidens and particularly in bumpers. And I think when I look at the breeding, it's bred. It is bred to go a little bit further. So I think it's 2 mile and 2 that race off the top of my head. And it's the challenge of that horse is it's got a trainer who's so out of form, like hasn't had a winner in like at least 5 years. And hasn't had very good places either. So, it's not training horses that have been doing any good particularly, but there's potential based on what the horse has done prior to coming into handicaps. And if it bounces from last time, I think it's worth chancing. Then we've got 7:35 Delante at 10s, 8:15 Sandown. I think that's a really interesting horse. It's the biggest price I've got today, and if you shop about in places you can get 66s at the time of making this video. That horse is so much better than that price, and so much better than its mark. So it did all right before it went into kind of handicaps. I think last time I think it was handicap debut last time, and it was the first time they'd run it on turf, and they upped it to 10 furlongs and on soft ground. That isn't what that horse wants. That horse is bred to be a 6 to 7 furlong horse. This race is a mile, so they've dropped it back down again, and I think it's worth chancing, even on the basis that I think it should really be going at 6 to 7 furlongs. And I think when it was doing maidens and novice type races, it run 7 furlongs, didn't get down to 6, but everything about the breeding to me says to me 6 to 7 furlongs is what the horse wants. So I haven't watched back tons of videos of it particularly, but it's certainly not a 10 furlong horse on soft ground, and I think it will want slightly better ground. And I think, generally speaking, on Thursday, when you look at night before, most of the ground is saying it's going to be soft, and I think it will be much closer to good for a lot of tracks by the time the sun's come out, which is it's due to come out on Thursday in most places, and dry the ground out. So I think whereas the perception might be it's soft ground is what you want, because that's what the going saying is on most places, I think it's going to be on the better side. So I don't think that horse wants soft ground. So I think if the ground gets better, back down to a mile on turf, and again, most of its maiden novices ran over on the all-weather, and it's not really an all-weather horse. So it's not that it would be terrible for it, but breeding suggests turf is what it wants, and turf 6 to 7 furlongs. So I think dropping back to mile, it's just worth chancing, I think, because it's so much better than I think what it's shown. So Glory Nights is there, and then 8:23 Salisbury Social City at 12s, 15 pence each way lucky 15, so a small stake lucky 15. We've got 2 additional 25p each way singles on Max Time and Glory Nights. Sky Best, then Paddy and Coral joint second best. Betway 4th best, 365 5th best. 550 is the bet. That's bet 6. And then, and last one, combo double. I've done this. That's Champagne Vacation, Champagne Vacation at 6:35 Sligo, max time, going on to 8:15 Glory Nights and Nicovo, 4 times 20p each way doubles. Then it's 160 is your bet. Sky or Betway, same place terms. They're 5 on both. then you've got 365, then Coral and Paddy. And what I'm saying is that 365, Coral and Paddy are the same place terms, but if any of the field sizes reduce, 365 are the safer option. So I'm going to start to do that more, where normally I would have historically said if it's the same place terms and you'd get best price guaranteed, I'd always put them same. I'm now going to lean towards, when I'm just giving bookmaker advice, to take 365 over other best price guaranteed bookmakers when there's extra place races, because when non-runners come out, they are the last ones to hold the place terms. So your bet is safer with the place terms of 365 than anywhere else. All right, that is the plan. I think, let me think what I've done. I've done the stats. I think it's just Galway. I was going to talk about Galway. Right, so Galway, I will say Galway and Goodwood. We didn't have a good end of day on Galway, because I think on Sunday we had 9 selections in the end that ran and 2 placed, and I think that ended up being 22% strike rate, which was the worst strike rate at Galway all week we had. But we ended 70 horses. I had 70 selections at Galway, 26 of them placed or framed, so that made 37% at the end of the week. For Goodwood, it was 38 horses, 12 of them framed, so that meant we ended up with 32% strike rate. Overall, combine them together, 108 selections, 38 of them framed, 35%. Albeit of that 38, I think 4 of them were Sky only, and they made a difference, so then that percentage would have reduced down. So overall, that puts the percentage, the frame percentage for the majority of bookmakers more like 30%. So it's I would overall, then it's what I would say is par. So a par score, if I was to be speaking in golf language, it's a par score for the week. So points, it looked like it was going to be a bit better than that, but yeah, I would say we ended up with par. Only 4 winners, and we had to wait till Friday. I think we had a 17-2 that got backed in. We had then on the same day Johan 16s I tipped up drifted 25s, and if I were a rich man 28s. I think SP was 28s but did go to 40s at places, and then we had another one beginning with S on Saturday. The one that Tom Marquand ran, some Sani or something like that, brilliant ride. That was a slight drift to 25s. So it worked out, if you'd done 808 selections and you put win singles on all of them, you would have made a slight loss. I then did the calculation that if you'd done them all each way, same point percentages, that also would have come out as a slight loss. So if you weren't going to win singles and on that, then we'd have had to have had a nice week of lining up a few bets in the right place to come out profitable. And that's why overall it came out slightly okay for Sky, because the strike rate percentage was a touch higher, and then behind for everybody else. So yeah, it was frustrating. I guess what was more frustrating to a degree as well, 4 winners, but we had 11 second places, and I worked out, I think I got involved in 52 races across Galway Goodwood over the 7-day period. So in 15 of those 52, we had first or second, which I think works out 28-29%. So that feels like a pretty good percentage. And, 4 first places, 11 second places, literally a couple of those going the other way, and I think the week would have looked a little bit different for everybody. So yeah, it was close but no cigar. But it is frustrating, because the first year of doing the channel, we had a great Cheltenham, we had a decent enough Ascot, and we had a cracking Galway Goodwood. And this year we've had a pants Cheltenham, not great Ascot, and Galway Goodwood was mixed for people. So yeah, it's last year the sort of those big festivals were a bit like my marquee, and it's not quite happened. But it was in the latter half of 2022 where we started hitting like 3 horses in a lucky 15, which we did 3 times, and 2 of those were on the all weather. So maybe that's what we need. Maybe we'll just work our way through August and we'll get to the start of the autumn all weather season, and that's where we might hit some stuff. But yeah, as I said, I'm kind of really thoughtful about how I might do stats and how I might do videos and change a few things going forward. So my thought is, I'm going to give it my own thought while I'm away on the summer break. When I come back, I think I might make a separate video just to talk about the channel and way I do things, and then people can give me their kind of their feedback and input into things. I can see what appetite there is, because some people will just be fine whatever we're doing. Some people will suggest all sorts of different changes, because some people don't even care about the stats. Like I care about the stats because that's my barometer of long term, am I doing all right or not. So the stats are important to me because I keep loads of stats for myself. I know there's a bunch of people that even what I say with stats goes over their head, and there's plenty of folk out there on YouTube giving it the big one, tipping more horses winners than anyone else, and all that sort of jargon that goes on. Absolute nonsense. That goes on. But plenty of people watch that stuff, and plenty of people like that stuff. But I'm not a shopping channel. I'm not here to sell you something. I'm not going to give you all my extra packages and stuff. It is super, super important to me that I continue on the path that I set out, and it was not to make money off regular folk. The whole super thanks thing, that's, I've got used to that and stuff, and I think I am thinking about how I might make a mechanism where if people want to say thank you and show appreciation, they can do in a way that's not super thanks. I'm thoughtful about how I might do that, because some people want to, which is really, really nice and lovely and humbling. But I'm not into doing a paid service. That's not what I'm about. And do you know what? Even if I did do a paid service, it's not like it's going to pay the bit. I'd get more money than bet if I'm decent enough, aren't I? I'd get more money betting on horses if I could get, as long as I could get the money on, than I would doing some sort of paid service where it ended up taking a lot of time. The irony is, the more time I spend doing YouTube videos and doing all this, the less time I'm actually focused on my own betting, and therefore lose track of things and don't put bets down where I should have done and that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't want to get involved in doing some sort of paid tipping service. That's don't want that. Anyway, right. I think we're rambled out. I think you've had your fill. This is obviously this is it now till 19th of August. Apart from the 2-minute videos, 2-minute videos every day. Hopefully people appreciate those. It's up to you. I've put them there for whether you want to take them or leave them. But hopefully I've made it super clear in every video that there is no tips from me on the video. I think I've made that pretty clear. I think you'll see. And people start realising, like, is he just not washing and stuff because he's got the same jumper on every day? Maybe people will notice that. I don't know. Last thing from me is I will wish you all a lovely. It's not like some of you might be going away. I don't know. I might have a little trip away with the family and that. But it's my summer break. If you were having a summer break too, you enjoy that. It's just genuinely, it's just a pleasure to have all these lovely, lovely people on here. And yes, you get the odd so and so and all that kind of jazz. But as I will always say, and I keep saying to you because it's genuinely true, the vast, vast majority of people who interact with the channel are really lovely folk. And I like to believe that what I've created on YouTube is a little bit of an outlet and a sanctuary for people who just, betting on horses is their hobby, and they can share it and no one's worried or judging and stuff, and can share in your delight when you win. Because it's more than just my tips. And if me making a channel where I put my own tips is a byproduct for other people to share their tips and whatever, clearly it's a bit different when it happens, when you get these people come, never heard of them in your life, and then suddenly that they're putting loads of links to their videos and that kind of stuff on your channel. That's happened a few times. Not cool with that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's different when it's like, Charlie, who's started YouTube same time as me. Like, he's a decent chap trying to do the right thing. I don't mean people like that. I don't mean people like Jeff who came along and has gone on and made his own channel, which is grand. I mean, like, the people I've never heard of who just suddenly pop up and go, here's the tips of the day, and click on this link or don't click on this link, and then you go in and it's not cool, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, when I started on YouTube, I didn't like put my links to my videos all over everybody else's videos to say come and look at me. Like, just if you're decent enough, just People will find you. People will find you. Anyway, I'm stopping chatting. That is me. See you in 9 days. Thanks for all the support, and I will be back after a nice break. Thank you very much. Bye bye.